This is Matrix Lord 212, and you know what? Why don't we have a future Spider-Man movie where Peter Parker makes a deal with the devil to give up his whole holy marriage of 21 years to Mary Jane to save the life of a 90-year-old woman? Not believable? Yeah, I don't think so either. Why would you do that in a comic if you wouldn't do that in a movie? This is the nonsense I'm talking about, especially with this. Wolverine is the founder and forms the first X-Men. Obviously somebody is on the book that has no idea what the history of the X-Men is, let alone the Spider-Man books, that they just take leaps and bounds and does crazy, crazy storylines like this. You know what? And it makes no sense to me. I mean, here it is, you got everything going for you. Disney owns Marvel. They're doing great. They got Avengers is probably going to be the #1 movie of all time. But then you got a problem in your own backyard, and that backyard being the comic book division, the division that the ideas come from, the House of Ideas, to make movies in the first place. And not talking about fixing your house, but fix your backyard first and go into the comics and see what is wrong with these books. What is going on? Why don't you hire like the original, writers or people that have had experience with these books to fix them, and not destroy them? I mean, yes, they have different storylines going on with Spider-Man, but in my eyes, it's still broken, the comic, okay? And you're never going to have any stories that you're going to be able to draw from for future movies, if the comic is broken. And the X-Men, I mean, are they running out of ideas? Are they running out of things to do that they would have to just go all the way back and rewrite everything? Like, Wolverine, you know, learned to be on a team from the X-Men, not any other team. So how could you be a leader, if you weren't even a team player to begin with? I mean, it doesn't, you know, it just totally ruins the whole thing. I mean, if you're gonna start redoing all the timelines for Marvel, why don't you just do every timeline then? I mean, are you gonna do the Avengers too? I mean, I don't understand. This is not the 52s, okay? DC did that with altering the timelines and changed the whole thing and wiped it clean, and we don't need to do that, okay? You don't need to do that. You wanna do the right thing, you fix the Spider-Man book back the way it was and then take it from there. And you fix the X-Men book and you don't like rewrite history at all. Okay? You have to have a guide, okay, that you could draw from to show you how you're supposed to do these books, okay? You ever hear the phrase, with great power comes great responsibility? Well, if you actually went by that saying, okay, and you believed in it in the character of Peter Parker Spider-Man, you would know by that saying that you could not do the most irresponsible act with the utmost power and just, think you're above all, that you would even team up and try to go to every villain you had to try to find a way out. Aunt May is a 90-year-old woman that her time had come. That was it. Okay, so, you made a mistake with Civil War where, yeah, for cool effect, Peter Parker revealed his identity to the world, and then you didn't know how to fix it. So you tried to do all these other different things with Doctor Strange and whatever it is. And then the way you fix everything, the problems brought on by that is you will just erase the whole timeline. But then what about the other Marvel characters that are connected to that timeline? Like, you don't even think. And you create ripples and problems that continuity is out of sync. So then you decide, oh, well, if it's so confusing, we'll just rewrite everything. No. How about no? Okay, so, Spider-Man doesn't do those things, okay, at all. It will never happen in a movie. I'm telling you right now. For the next 100 years, there will never be a movie where Peter Parker makes a deal with the devil, okay, and the enemy, okay, to save a life. How about, like, pray to God? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't happen, okay? And the character of Spider-Man would never do that because he's been fighting the evil since 1963, okay? So, you would be a hypocrite. You would be not a hero at all by taking the easy way out. The most irresponsible act you can think of would not be done again. Peter Parker did that already by letting the burglar go with Uncle Ben, and he wouldn't do it again. Okay? He would not sacrifice the whole entire timeline for a 90-year-old woman. No, I don't care if it's Aunt May. I don't care. Okay? He wouldn't do it. So whoever decided to do that was a big, big mistake. And you know what? Rather than piss off all these writers that ever had storylines for 21 years, how about Marvel pisses off the writer that had that storyline in the first place and erase that? Okay? And then start fresh. Start from the point in time where that deal was never made and then continue. Okay? And fix it. Alright? You gotta, I mean, all these crazy things are going on. It's like ridiculous. Okay? Peter Parker is very, very smart. Okay? He's very intelligent. Okay? I understand they want to evolve him. They want to make him young. How could you make him? This is what makes no sense to me. How could you make the character? Okay? You want him to be like in his 20s, but then you want him to be smarter than Reed Richards. So you make him like create inventions that save the world and everything else. Think about it for a minute, okay? Think about it. It's not happening. Alright? Don't make Peter Parker Reed Richards. Okay? You have Reed Richards. Alright? Oh, he's responsible for all these wonderful... No. Peter Parker is a genius. But there are certain things Peter Parker doesn't know. Certain fields that he just don't learn overnight. You know, it's not, you know, doesn't make any sense. And I'm talking about the ends of the earth, certain things in there that just are not cool with me. But going back to the X-Men, because I'm losing track here. You know, you don't do that. You just don't erase all these years of storylines to make a buck. Because what happens is, yeah, you may make a buck, okay, but you lose thousands later on because all these people that have been collecting your books for years will give you the finger, okay, and they won't buy them no more. All right, so to make a quick buck, no, Marvel doesn't make quick bucks. Okay, Marvel does the movies right. Marvel should do the comics right. Okay, don't try to be like, you know, Marvel hates DC. Don't do what they're doing. That's terrible. Do your own thing. Okay, don't try to get the shock and awe thing. No, Wolverine did not found the X-Men. Okay, and if that storyline and that comic's gonna come out, I would have somebody go back and kill Wolverine because it's like you don't do that. So please, please, please don't make this mistake again, because ultimately what's gonna happen is whoever's gonna be on these books is gonna be fired, because you cannot, you know, destroy the foundation of the X-Men and Spider-Man and all that stuff. And that's it. Alright? You have to have a history. You can't rewrite history. In reality, you can't rewrite history. So you shouldn't be able to do that. Yes, there are reboots with movies and they start fresh, but the comics are written and placed for a reason. Okay? And you can't, you know, to a fan like myself that has like 36 long comic book boxes of Marvel Comics, you know, to do that to me is not fair. You know, and I would say, okay, you know what, I ain't buying anymore. Just like any other fan wouldn't buy anymore. And I wouldn't let my kids read that garbage because it never happened. Okay? I don't believe it. So, you know, my kids don't read the Spider-Man books now because I don't want them to read it. Right? I don't believe it. I don't believe what happened. I don't believe the storyline. And you know what? I want them to collect the comics and get all into it. You know, no way. No way. So, we'll stick to the movies for now. But, just cut it out with these storylines, with these, you know, Marvel 52 or 3 or whatever the hell you want to call it, that you're changing history. You know, forget about rewriting history. Continue with the regular timeline, and that's it. You know, and somebody explained to me how Mockingbird's back too, because, you know, last I heard, Mephisto killed her. So, and then how she's a Kree, and I don't know. I'm just, you know what? Things got to be explained, really. That's all I got to say. So. Long video, but you know, you don't rewrite history, because if you rewrite history, you're doomed to repeat the mistakes you made in the past, okay, that you didn't learn from to begin with. So that's it for now.